Hi, welcome to Paisley Valley Crafts, where the word paper is a verb. So I thought I would go through real quick and show you a couple of different books that I have picked out to empty and recreate as junk journals. I look for a couple of different things. Let me just make sure I get my timer on. Oops, so that I'm in the beginning. When you start making videos, your videos have to be less than 15 minutes. And so I always like to make sure that I have my timer on so I don't go over. So when I look for books to empty and recreate as a junk journal, two things. I look for size of the journal, and then I also look at the color of the book. I do pay attention a little bit to the title of the book. I'm not going to buy Helter Skelter, Charles Manson is at it again. So I always watch for the title. But for me, because I don't personally cover the book in any kind of images, I leave them natural. So I look for the color. And this particular day, I was apparently feeling purple. So if I get time, I'll try and empty both of these books. But I'll for sure go through this one because this one looks pretty easy. So it's a really nice kind of a lilac color. As you can see through the book, there are going to be some pages that I can use. Definitely will be able to use them as ephemera pieces. So let me see if I can just bring my camera in. Whoop, wrong way. There we go. Bring my camera in a little bit so that you can kind of tell what I'm doing. So when I look for a book, one of the first things I look is to see what kind of binder it has. And this seems to have the kind of binder that is glued to what I would call a fabric piece. Whoop, let's get in the camera there. Glued to a fabric. So to me, this is going to be really easy to take apart. Some of them, they do take a little time. I use my X-Acto knife. I always make sure that my blade is put away before I put it back in my tool chest. So I just start out making sure not to cut. I'm trying to go straight because this page, this very front part, actually is going to be exposed. I'm just going to pull apart a few pages. There we go. They're coming pretty easy. And then, yep, it is. So what I want to do is I want to try and cut. And here it comes. It came, I don't know if you heard that, but it came apart really easy. And I really like these kind of books that do that, because then it's not, I don't have to empty it completely out with all the pages. So I just turn it over. I cut down. I kind of want to try and maintain some straightness to this front page because that's going to be exposed. And there we go. I took the entire book out. And then what I will do, that's got a good 1.25 1.5 spine. So what I'll do with this when I'm ready for it is I will create a 1.5 inch spine. I'll glue it into here, but before gluing it, I'll sew in my pieces. So that one came out pretty quick, and that was pretty fun to see how quick that came out. But in going through here, there are some cool pictures in this book. So always make sure I do note what the book theme is, as well as beautiful, as well as the color and the title. So I'm going to move on to my, let me just see here real quick. I'm going to move on to, and I've lost my timer. So I'm going to move on to this, see if this is the same. I'm actually going to read this book, Little French Bistro, but I don't need the cover to do that. So I'm going to cut down the front, first of all, and I'm going to check to see what kind of spine it has. And I want to make sure that I'm not cutting one of my fingers off. So here comes a couple of the pages right off the bat. I want to keep these in order because I'm going to hopefully get time to read this book. This should come, once I expose that, it should come out pretty easy. Let me just see. There we go. And it might not come off. Oh, sometimes it takes a little bit of working the knife. I never put my finger in there at the same time my knife is in there. It's because I don't want to cut off a digit. But what I'm doing is, oh, you can kind of hear it. I think I've hit the part that is attaching the pages. So, yep, you can kind of hear the ripping a little bit. And probably because I've kind of pulled at this a little bit, tore part of this, I'll put what I call a face page on there, just kind of a place that hides all that rippage. I'll come to the back, and I'm just going to kind of take a quick peek. I'm going to run my knife down. I want to keep my body away from, because I do not want to poke myself. There we go. And it takes a little bit of jimmying sometimes, but once you start to hear that ripping of the, I think what it is, you know what, I don't even know, but it's what holds the pages together. It's the binding that the book company has glued the pages to. So what I'm going to do is, just to make it a little bit easier, let's see if I've exposed this. If I can get to it, I'm just severing some of those parts that are still kind of hanging on. Alright, so I can see that I've exposed it, but the back part is glued in a little bit tighter, so I'm going to pull it back so the cover, I'm going to pull that back so it exposes that a little bit more. There we go. I think, and I want to make sure that my knife is not coming down on my lap. If I push too hard and it goes down, it'll go to the table and it won't go into my leg. There we go. So I'm just trying to jimmy it a little bit away from the binder. There we go. And I'm just gonna, there we go. And I've got it apart. So I want to make sure, because I'm going to read this book, I want to make sure to keep my pages in order. But this one came out relatively easy too. All came together, so when I read it, I can actually just keep it together. But what I have now just want to make sure I didn't hurt the cover of the binder at all. If I did, I'll put a little colored washi tape on it. But this one has a nice, I would say 1 to 1.25 inch binder. Got a really pretty purple color. Here's my binder, Little French Bistro. So watch in my Etsy store. I'll be creating a junk journal out of this. I am gearing up a lot of my Etsy store for the upcoming holiday season. Let me just clear that out. So what I meant by a face page is I'm going to take one of these blank first starter pages. I think this is actually the end. And I will actually cut this to cover this, and I'll cut it here, and I'll cut it here, and then I'll glue it so that that does not have this exposed. When the junk journaler opens up the book, they'll see a nice, really nice edge instead of kind of a ripped, torn edge. So that is how I empty my upcoming junk journals. I have a little goof right there that I think I touched it, so a little bit of washi tape will fix that. But that is how I empty out hardcover books, and now I have 2 to create junk journals out of. So I hope you enjoy junk journaling as much as I do, and thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you very soon.